Good morning, friends. Today we're going to do something very different, and we are going to make my father's traditional Sunday breakfast. Today we're going to start with peppers and onions blend. Now, they are frozen, so we're going to put them in the microwave. We also have great value hash browns. They also have peppers and onions in them too. We like peppers and onions. And then, of course, frozen onions. So we're going to put them in there. Then we're going to set the time the time on the onions. We'll try for 3 because they're 3 minutes because there's so many in there. So let's get it going. Now I'm not defrosting them. I'm just getting, I am defrosting them, but not on the defrost setting. Just to get them, softer so we can cook them. So now we're going to take them out. Take them out of the microwave. And I'm going to cut the bags open and put them into the pot. So we're going to start cooking the potato mixture. So I'm going to put this on kind of medium for both. Now, as you can see, they are completely defrosted. And now we want to brown these, get these to be a little bit softer, but as you can see, the peppers themselves, yikes, are already very soft. In the meantime, over here, I put a tab of butter and I am sauteing the little bit of onions. So don't forget we have onions in here too. These are going to go in the scrambled eggs. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there from the butter container. Just because it's kind of, the onions are absorbing the butter, but I do not want them to caramelize or burn. So we're going to get these to become a little bit more translucent, loose. So we want these to cook where they're a bit translucent, not brown or black. Got a little bit of pepper in there, but that's okay. So they're coming along quite nicely. So in the meantime, while these are cooking, potatoes tend to take a little bit longer to brown. And quite honestly, I don't necessarily want them to be like the shredded hash browns where you literally toast them to the bottom. In my opinion, it takes the moisture out, but we do want it to cook a little bit longer. So while these are cooking, I'll put my trivet over here, my spoon, because right now we are going to, now I already started because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, and because there's 2 of us, I am going to crack the eggs. I am going to add, well, hold on, let me put this here. I am going to add a little bit of milk. Now, some people use water. I grew up using just a tad of milk, so that's what we're doing today. All right, let's put that over here. I am also, at this time, going to add my freshly ground pepper. And this is the fine ground pepper. I do have peppercorns that come from a grinder, but lately those pepper grounds, the large size, have been sticking in my teeth, and I don't like that. So I think that's enough. I also believe that my son and I can continue to add more later to our taste. My son likes things a lot more saltier than I do. So I have the Himalayan salt. That's all I use. And I am going to put a couple grinds in there. Let's put this back. And I'm going to add a little bit more to this because I have garlic salt. I got this at Aldi's and I was very surprised. So I had never seen it before. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but we're going to try it. So now all we have to do at this minute in time is just wait for the hash brown mixture to brown a little bit. I didn't show you this, but I also put butter in here, and I don't know, people have a lot of controversial ideas about cooking with butter. I usually use ghee, which is G-E-E. But I'm out of that right now. And although I only cook with olive oil in general, with eggs and something like this, I don't like the earthy flavor. And then a lot of times I cook with the coconut oil. So we're not doing that today. We're just using butter. And I need to get a lid for that pot because it will dry out, making a little bit of noise. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of noise. Okay, so we're going to put the lid on here to keep the moisture in. We don't want our potatoes to dry out because who wants chewy, dried out potatoes? So these are perfect, absolutely perfect. So we are going to now work with our eggs and get them ready for putting in the onions, which I do like this. I mix them up, and you don't whip them. You just gently fold the whipper in there, because if you notice, if you whip them, they are only yellow and they're kind of flat. I can't guarantee these are going to turn out lovely, but they're edible and we like them, so I am going to say that's a good deal. And I'm going to set this over here, put this on my trivet. I'm going to turn these down because this takes the longest, so I'm just preparing for now. So we're going to let this simmer. I turn this down so it can settle and wait for this to continue cooking, and then we'll add the eggs. Now we can't forget to periodically take care of this. I don't want to mix it up because, as you can see, the potatoes are very soft right now. So I just grab a little scoop of it and basically flip it over, because we do want kind of a little toasted, little browning on the top of, or and the bottom of our potatoes. Now I have to admit, I'm not really good at hash brown. I don't know how, when you go to the restaurant, they're just perfectly browned and moist, but you know, a little crunchy on the outside, and I like that. But I have not yet, in my many years of cooking, been able to establish that. I'm kind of making a mess here. So let me put the lid back on here to keep the moisture in. And I'm going to grab my sponge and I am going to clean up. I hate a dirty stove. I absolutely hate it. And as I'm cooking, and this is what I try to instill in my son, you know, while the food is cooking, especially if you don't have to maintain it, just clean up. When you're done using a pot, wash it out. Dry it, put it away. Now, since I did not use all the peppers or the onions, we are going to put those in Ziploc bags because they are open, and put them back into the freezer. And here's a little note: eggshells. What do you do with your eggshells? I'm going to give you a tip. You take these eggshells and you wash them out. And you can put them on a paper towel, on a regular towel, but we put them in the sun, in the window. And I'm going to show you what I do with them. Like most people nowadays, you get the K-cups or coffee pods, whatever. So we don't really use ground coffee anymore, but I have a coffee grinder. So what I do with the eggs is I've got this shiny little jar, and if you can see inside, it is ground eggshell, which is a wonderful source of calcium, and we feed our dogs organically, raw dog food, and this is a very good source of the vitamin calcium for your dogs and your cats. So we put a scoop of it on their food. So here's a good idea how to recycle your eggshells. And you don't have to use it just for the dogs. It's great for plants too, because it replenishes the soil with calcium. All right, we're going to do another check on our potatoes. You can see they're getting brown. That's awesome. That is awesome. And like I said, when you cook with the lid on everything, I use a lid for everything. It keeps the moisture in. So this side is hard to flip. These are literally going to be ready to serve in a minute or two. I'm actually going to turn the fire up. It is on high right now. I'm going to put it to medium. Now we're going to do the eggs. So I'm going to pour the eggs into the onion and melted butter. Now I'm going to take this to the sink because egg turns to glue. So I always put put a little bit of Dawn liquid. You can't see me, guys. I'm sorry. But a little bit of Dawn liquid, and I soak that. And then when I'm done, I come back and I do all the dishes. So here, this is on low. And I'm going to start cooking the eggs. Just kind of stir it a little bit. Let it do its thing. I have never looked up a video on the proper way to cook eggs or scrambled eggs. But this is how my dad did it. And after all, this is his recipe. Now the other thing I do at this point, and I'm not sure if my son likes this or not, but this is what I do. I take the ground pepper and I put it in the eggs. And I mean, you can actually do this, you know, when the eggs are done and you're at your plate, you can season them. Oops. Then I'm going to take the Himalayan salt and put some in there. I don't like to put a lot in there because there's a lot of salt in this. And too much salt is very bad for us. I can vouch for that and give you kidney stones. Nothing like having 3 kidney stones in the emergency room during COVID. So, oh, I'm sorry. Can I say that now? During the pandemic in 2020. So, you can see it's starting to coagulate. It's starting to form a solid, a smushy solid. So, like I said, I just kind of push it around. Try to keep the liquid part on the skillet. Let it sit for a bit. And let it firm up again. One more time, I check the potatoes, and they are definitely ready to serve. So now it's time to just let this sit. I actually, because the pan itself works as a conductor, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but food continues to cook even when you turn off the heat. It's an electric stove. I can't say fire. I'm going to keep this on again for keeping the moisture. And then I am going to move the pot after turning off the heat. And I'm going to move it up so it's on a cool surface at this time because it is ready to go. I'm going to come over here again to the eggs. I start by scraping the sides and just flipping it around. They're really coming along. There's another thing that my dad didn't do, but this is a tradition. Nah, I'm not even saying tradition. This is just a preference that my son and I have. And I'm going to show you that at the end of this. And I encourage you to try it. So as you can see, it is ready. It is ready to be served. I am going to turn off the heat. And okay, it is time to serve our breakfast. So we're going to take the lid off of the pot, put it in the sink for later to wash. And we're going to serve potatoes. I personally am not a big eater. Where's my son? Well, I'll be polite. He eats more than I do. So I'm serving my dish. Then I'm going to serve up eggs. And serve up eggs. No, I didn't make toast. That's okay. Don't always necessarily need all that stuff. Okay. Now I want to show you what we do. It's going to be interesting because this is hot. So I'll do this quickly. We put grated cheese on our eggs. I don't know when we started this because I also make omelets and we do cheese and sausage and bacon omelets with the onions and the peppers. So I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on my food, and my son will do the same thing. And there you go. There's my breakfast. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do different, and tell me in the comments what you usually eat for breakfast. Now, I'll be honest with you. This is a weekend breakfast. Sometimes we have eggs with pancakes. Sometimes I personally eat 1 egg a day. It's good for my it's good for my diet. And I really enjoy putting an egg on a gluten-free English muffin with a slice of cheese. My son really likes sausage, where I would prefer not to, but when he makes it, we'll even put sausage on it. So this is my breakfast. You guys have a really good day. And please remember to like and subscribe and comment. I would appreciate it. Thank you. Now is the most essential part of breakfast, and that is coffee. So let's make coffee. What do we got? We have caramel. Let's do blueberry. Blueberry coffee. A lot of people nowadays use the K-cups. I find them very convenient. I used to buy the grounds and put them in a little cup that you can buy in the store. I don't know if it saves money, but this is so convenient. So let's turn it on. Push it down like that. And of course, we have to add our favorite coffee cup. Kurumi. Put it in the pot. And we're going to push this button, which utilizes the whole amount of grounds in here. Because sometimes if you like your coffee weak, here's a little tip. You can run it one time and it's done. But sometimes they can make 2 weak cup of coffees, which some people really like. Then we're going to put it on the biggest cup setting. There we go. Let's put this away. And now we're going to make coffee. Here it comes. Now, a lot of people prefer orange juice or something with their breakfast, but I have a health condition and orange juice just isn't the best thing for me because the high acidic value of the orange juice. Also, Oh, I would love some tomato juice. I prefer the V8 juice. But today we're just going to have coffee. I don't know what you drink in your coffee, but of course, if I'm going to have bougie coffee, I'm going to have bougie. I'm going to have bougie creamer. I believe this is called Boston cream coffee. So that's what we're having. So put this away. Now, let's go eat our breakfast.